Welcome to the No Views News. This program was created on Tuesday, March 23rd, at 3:28 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, by Zeno Reader. There are 739 headlines from 108 feeds we check to build this automated report. Welcome to No Views, daily automated podcast news. The headlines in this super unknown daily news summary do not imply fact-checking or endorsement of ideas. The first headlines are from the current most popular news site, Yahoo News, with 175 million estimated monthly unique visitors. Boulder shooting, 10 victims and suspect identified by police. Explainer, how states are seeking to loosen controls on guns. Joe Scarborough accused of racism after tirade about Biden luring immigrant children to U.S. border. Asian mom punched in front of child on way to anti-Asian violence protest in NYC. Israeli election, exit polls project narrow Netanyahu victory. What we know about 21-year-old Ahmed Alissa, who police say killed 10 in Boulder, Colorado. Senator Tammy Duckworth says she'll vote no on Biden nominees until White House taps Asian candidates. Boulder shooting inspires comparisons to police killing of Elijah McClain. Chinese grandma who fought off attacker to donate over $900K from GoFundMe to AAPI community. Golf legend Greg Norman sells Seven Lakes Ranch in Colorado. The next headlines are from the second most popular news website at this time, with 150 million unique monthly visitors, Google News. Intel's new IDM 2.0 strategy, $20 billion for two fabs, Meteor Lake 7nm tiles, new foundry services, IBM collaboration, return of IDF, and OnTech. Department of Justice refers former Capitol riot prosecutor for internal investigation after 60 Minutes interview, CNN. Duckworth vows to oppose Biden nominees over lack of Asian American representation, Politico. Dow suffers worst day in about 3 weeks and oil ends in correction territory as investors parse Yellen Powell testimony, MarketWatch. Netflix will make you savor 2 of its reality shows with a weekly release schedule, The Verge. Netanyahu has path to 6th term in Israel election, exit polls show, The New York Times. Latest accuser calls Deshaun Watson a serial predator, New York Post. Boulder shooting, what we know about the victims, The New York Times. Can I travel if I'm partially vaccinated? An expert says yes, Insider. 2021 NCAA Tournament, early look at each matchup in the Sweet 16 as March Madness rolls on, CBS Sports. The following headlines are from the third most popular news website, with 110 million unique monthly visitors, The Huffington Post. Demi Lovato reveals why she didn't think she'd overdose after trying meth, crack cocaine. Prince Harry joins coaching startup as Chief Impact Officer. Arizona man accused of holding National Guard members at gunpoint. Ken Jeong speaks out on anti-Asian violence, this Kung Flu ST has to stop. How to get kids to open up in remote therapy. John Ossoff is 44th Democratic senator to back D.C. statehood. Anna Faris says she had competitiveness issues in marriage to Chris Pratt. Senate holds hearing on gun violence amid raft of grisly gun deaths. Tammy Duckworth threatens to block Biden nominees over lack of AAPI representation. Cinnamon Toast Crunch investigating claim of shrimp tails in cereal. The next headlines are from the fourth most popular news website, with 95 million estimated unique monthly visitors, CNN. Law reduces impact of standardized test scores. COVID cases surge, UK variant found on campus. World War II navigator finds family of man who hit him. Plan for reparations for some black residents. 104-year-olds gets vaccine, lived through 1918 flu. Growing sinkhole in neighborhood raises concerns. Man hiking to raise money in honor of his father. Store owner shot by deputy during burglary. Thurl, 11, dies 3 weeks after gas station shooting. HS basketball player recovering after collapsing during practice. The next headlines are from the fifth most popular news website at this time, with 70 million estimated unique monthly visitors, the New York Times. Boulder shooting, what we know about the victims. NCAA tournament updates, women start round 2. What to know about the trial of the Eric Chauvin. Boulder, AstraZeneca, Israel elections, your Tuesday evening briefing. Fighting the mafia on its own turf. The most important thing you should know about AstraZeneca's vaccine. Netanyahu has path to majority in 6th term, Israeli exit polls show. Texas and Georgia join states making all adults eligible for vaccine. UN to gather evidence of atrocities in Sri Lanka civil war. Kim Janey becomes Boston's first black mayor. The following headlines are from the 6th most popular news website, with an estimated 65 million monthly unique visitors, Fox News. Iowa correctional officer and nurse killed in prison attack by inmate. Smoking hot wife writes viral obituary for dead sexy husband. Twitter liberals rush to blame Boulder shooting on white men before suspect Ahmed al-Alawi is identified. NASA previews first Mars helicopter flights, every step taken is uncharted territory. Senate votes to confirm Vivek Murthy as Surgeon General. Kayleigh McEnany blasts Biden administration for unprecedented lack of media access to border. Spring breaker woman drugged, raped and found dead in Miami Beach hotel ID'd. Karl Rove, Biden's proposed tax increase would kill more than 500,000 U.S. jobs. Boulder shooting witness describes rushing King Soopers employees out through loading dock. Archaeologists uncover first Maryland colonial site after decades-long search. You are hearing today's top news headlines and more. Today is Tuesday, March 23rd. The next headlines are from the 7th most popular news website, with 63 million estimated monthly unique visitors, CBS News. Disney testing facial recognition tech for park entry. Spring training report, changing the baseball could lead to fewer home runs. Shelby Stoltz on MTV's 16 and Pregnant, those whole 9 months were a huge growing up process. Kimiko Glenn and Luke Youngblood on Baby Shark's Big Show, it caters to preschoolers, parents, grandparents. Stimulus check update, track your IRS relief payment. Texas Dr. Clay Cockerell and his clinic accused of racking up $4.2 million in fake claims. Loyola 2 wins away from repeating historic run to NCAA Final Four. March Madness, Sweet 16 matchups, tip times, how to watch. Miami Beach Mayor Dan Gelber said they're facing triple threat this spring break. College applications surged during pandemic and due to optional test scores. The next headlines are from the 8th most popular news website, with an estimated 53 million monthly unique visitors, Mail Online, the Daily Mail. Kate Garraway admits she has grieved for COVID-stricken husband Derek Draper. Undercover TV researcher faces murder charge over death of drug dealer after 16 years on the run. Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex, lands a real job at Silicon Valley life coaching firm. Sarah Vine, if Meghan Markle was wrong about the wedding, how can we believe anything else? Facebook users can praise mass murders, leaked moderation guidelines show. Lawrence Fox, the tyranny of the woke mob has made me realize how the Nazis came to power. Judge rules in favor of woman whose partner took her to court over the $2.5 mansion he paid for. Kate Garraway's children Darcy and Billy reflect on Father Derek Draper's COVID recovery. Interior design masters viewers are blown away by winning design. Victims of Boulder grocery store massacre are identified. The following headlines are from the 9th most popular news website, with an estimated 47 million monthly unique visitors, The Washington Post. This is the Washington Post World News Feed. Facing sweltering soldiers and flooded ports, NATO to focus on climate change. Writer faces prison after calling Polish President moron for confusion over U.S. Electoral College. As Israel votes again, Palestinians still wait their turn. As U.S. parties, Europe fights third coronavirus wave. Facing fury over sex scandals, Australia's leader fights tears too, then retaliates an outburst at reporter. Deadly fire in Rohingya refugee camp in Bangladesh kills 15, hundreds missing. 5 ways that political fox Netanyahu has clung to power. Netanyahu's party wins most seats in Israeli election, moves within reach of securing a governing coalition. Noel El-Sadawi, Egyptian author, physician and feminist activist, dies at 89. Exit polls indicate no clear winner in Israeli elections. The next headlines are from the 10th most popular news website, which has an estimated 42 million monthly unique visitors, The Guardian. This is The Guardian's U.S. news feed. Biden calls on Congress to pass assault weapons ban after Boulder shooting, live. 7-year-old girl killed in Myanmar after security forces open fire. GameStop shares fall as first earnings report released since Reddit-led rally. Israel election results, Netanyahu ahead in exit polls. Johnson marks years since first lockdown, knowing he acted far too late. John Crace. Harry Dunn's parents to hear testimony from son's alleged killer. Tennessee man loses $1 lottery ticket, then finds it in a parking lot. Black Widow headed to Disney Plus as studio shakes up schedule. Accused brothers seek pardon in Daphne Caruana Galizia case. Boris Johnson admits regrets over handling of first COVID wave. The following headlines are from the 12th most popular news website, with an estimated 36 million monthly unique visitors, ABC News. Colorado's tragic history of mass shootings from Columbine to King Soopers. Live, ABC News Live. Full jury seated in trial of former police officer Derek Chauvin. North Korea fired off 2 short-range missiles over weekend, official. Boulder mass shooting victims remembered, including police officer, future grandpa. Slower mail, fewer office hours part of Postal Service plans. 1 dead, 2 firefighters hurt after blaze engulfs assisted living facility. The next headlines are from the 13th most popular news website, with an estimated 35 million monthly unique visitors, the BBC News. Israel election, exit polls favor Netanyahu bloc. Boulder victims, a police officer, a store manager and food shoppers. Cox's bizarre fire, I wanted to save them even if I die doing so. Harry to become chief impact officer at U.S. coaching firm BetterUp. Coronavirus, Germany imposes Easter lockdown to curb new surge. Coronavirus, Russia's Putin gets vaccine but without cameras. Australia floods, rain seas, but fears persist over water levels. Myanmar coup, 7-year-old girl killed by security forces. Australia floods, stranded bride airlifted to wedding. The following headlines are from the 14th most popular news website, with an estimated 34 million monthly unique visitors, USA Today. AP Top Stories 5p. Boulder shooting live updates, 21-year-old charged in rampage that monstrously struck down tenant supermarket, family says he's antisocial. Regeneron's COVID treatment cuts risk of death by 70%, AstraZeneca may have used outdated info in vaccine trial, live COVID-19 updates. GOP leaders talk guns, filibuster, border security. Colorado shooting suspect was paranoid, family says, asked for his mother after killings, bought gun 6 days before rampage. Flowers mark scene of deadly Colorado shooting. Nurse, correctional officer dead at Iowa prison after inmate attacks multiple staff members. Explainer, the 2 opinions of DC statehood. Jury selected in the trial of former police officer Derek Chauvin, charged with murder in the death of George Floyd. Columbine, Aurora and now Boulder, Colorado once again suffers public mass shooting. The next headlines are from the 15th most popular news website, with an estimated 35.5 million monthly unique visitors, the LA Times. San Bernardino County Sheriff's deputy shot, suspect in custody. Los Angeles Police Department reviewing striking cluster of 5 police shootings in the last week. LA nightclubs exhale as stimulus money and even an end to shutdown appear in sight. Our complete coverage of QAnon in California. Gang member gets 16 years for firebombing black families' homes. LA County, OC reach orange tire coronavirus numbers, wider reopenings could be a week away. Fire destroys Long Beach's Rainbow Lifeguard Tower, a symbol of LGBTQ pride. California isn't seeing COVID-19 spikes like New York and Florida. Can we keep it up? Yountville Veterans Home cleared after reports of woman with shotgun. Sidewalk project artists mask up and hit Skid Row. Since COVID, we haven't slowed down. We hope you are enjoying this news podcast. Today is Tuesday, March 23, 2021. You just heard from the top 15 most popular news websites in the world. More, from other news sources, is up next. Next, Reddit World News. Reddit is a user collective which claims over 430 million active users per month, and these are the top voted stories today. China slams Canada's treatment of First Nations in response to sanctions. 3 Russian bomber pilots killed by ejection system glitch. Top Admiral, possibility China tries to invade Taiwan closer to us than most think. Venice to start celebrating its 1600th anniversary. Israeli army accidentally reveals secret bases and detailed online maps that leaked exact boundaries of its air force and military intelligence bases. France summons Chinese envoy over unacceptable insults. Toronto doctor shares images of lungs to show how COVID-19 is brutalizing young people. Mie becomes first Japan prefecture to ban outing of sexual minorities. 3 Russian nuclear bomber crew members killed after ejector seat malfunctions. A senior Saudi official issued what was perceived to be a death threat against the independent United Nations investigator, Ans Kalamard, after her investigation into the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. Polish writer facing prison for calling President moron. Brazilian Jews file complaint over politician who said Jews sacrifice children. Tasmania set to legalize voluntary assisted dying. Reporters Without Borders sues Facebook over hate speech. Sex videos in Parliament shock Australia. The next headlines are from Forbes. Former CEO sues Parler over alleged conspiracy to oust him. Here's how Sasha Jeffrey just became one of the world's best-selling artists. Robinhood files for initial public offering. Curiosity Stream tops 15 million paying subscribers, ups revenue 120% in first public quarter. Pandemic leading to increase in permanent closures of Catholic schools. Texas and Georgia the latest states announcing COVID-19 vaccines opening to everyone. Here's the full list. Democrats slam DeJoy's draconian and gratuitous postal service plan to slow the mail. Netanyahu is ahead in Israel's election, but he hasn't won yet. Harry Connick Jr. showcases his many musical talents on Alone with My Faith album. Robot truck maker to simple files for NASDAQ IPO. The next headlines are from Nature.com. COVID-19 recovery, science isn't enough to save us. Electronic skin, from flexibility to a sense of touch. Politicians must dial down the rhetoric over COVID vaccines. Form a climate club, United States, European Union and China. The fight against fake paper factories that churn out sham science. Solar panels that throw shade on canals are an environmental win-win. Publisher correction, third order nanocircuit elements for neuromorphic engineering. Daily briefing, the future of variant-proof vaccines. Engineering a brighter future for refugees and female scientists in Uganda. Vera Rubin, astronomer extraordinaire, a new biography. The World Population Update. Currently, we are increasing by over 220,000 people a day, expecting to reach 8 billion in 2023. At the time this report was generated, the population was estimated to be 7,693,943,742 humans. Worldometers.info says there are 195 countries at this time and, of those, the top 10 with the largest populations are, in order, China, India, the United States, Indonesia, Pakistan, Brazil, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Russia, and then Mexico. The next headlines are from Variety. Peter Rabbit 2, The Runaway Review, Beatrix Potter's Bunny is back, rehabilitated in this sure-footed, superior sequel. Staffers at indie label secretly group launch union to guarantee a better music industry. Godzilla vs. Kong director on staging epic monster battles, rebooting Face Off. Robert Kirkman's Invincible gets intriguing new adaptation with smart performances, TV review. Viacom CBS shares sink 9% after $3 billion stock sale announcement. Xinjiang re-education camps brought to life in New Yorker VR doc at South by Southwest. Sherry Shepherd joins ABC pilot Black Don't Crack. Instagram comedy star Elsa Majimbo signs with CAA exclusive. Home and Family to end with season 9 on Hallmark Channel exclusive. A Black Lady sketch show season 2 to debut in April. Guest stars include Gabrielle Union and Issa Rae. The following headlines are from NPR, National Public Radio. America's roads are getting deadlier, and fatality rates are worse for minorities. Spirit to fight, inside the labor, minority rights roots of Myanmar's protests. Here's what we know about the victims of the Boulder shooting. How Detroit chefs are feeding those in need. Regal Cinemas to reopen its theaters in April. Ex-CEO sues Parler over a Rogan theft, claims site was hijacked. Hundreds missing in aftermath of fire at Rohingya refugee camp. In likely first, Chicago's suburb of Evanston approves reparations for Black residents. The COVID relief bill expands the Affordable Care Act. It doesn't come cheap. Biden urges immediate action from Senate on gun bills after Colorado shooting. The following headlines are from The Week. Biden administration extends Obamacare special enrollment period 3 months. COVID-19 vaccines appear to cause sharp drop in infections in groups of American, Israeli healthcare workers. The Daily Gossip, Bad Bunny is headed to the WrestleMania ring, Prince Harry has a weird new job, and more. Disney gives up on releasing Black Widow exclusively in movie theaters. Gun control is the perfect weapon against the filibuster. Biden calls on Senate to immediately pass House bills that would close gun background check loopholes. Texas is making all adults eligible for COVID-19 vaccination next week. Obama laments Boulder shooting, says once-in-a-century pandemic cannot be only reason such violence slows. Federal flags to return to half-staff in honor of Boulder victims just hours after Atlanta commemoration ends. The following headlines are from the Texas Observer. Strangest state, a mysterious monolith and a fat cat. Editorial, defund the constables. On a dime. The next headlines are from Universe Today. Perseverance begins its science on Mars with a lasers app. Rocks and other features at Perseverance's landing site are getting Navajo names. New binocular nova cost 2021 flares in Cassiopeia. Mont Mercou on Mars. More audio from Perseverance, the crunch of its wheels on the Martian regolith. These are the news headlines for today, Tuesday, March 23rd. This podcast is produced only in English at this time. As of 2020, the Ethnologue reference lists 7,117 different human languages, with English being the third most common, after Mandarin Chinese and Spanish. The following headlines are from earthsky.org. A supermassive black hole on the move. Moon and Cancer on March 23rd and 24th. Is March's full moon a supermoon? Subsurface oceans on alien worlds better for life than Earth's oceans? Olympus Mons volcano on Mars, from UAE's Hope. The next news is from Politico. The vaccines that could stop COVID-19. Merkel announces hard lockdown for Germany during Easter holidays. Biden's first 100 days. DHS looking at tracking travel of domestic extremists. Judge warns Department of Justice that media interviews could taint Oath Keepers case. Biden extending Obamacare's pandemic enrollment season. Judge detains former Special Forces soldier charged with assaulting police during Capitol siege. Duckworth vows to oppose Biden nominees over lack of Asian American representation. New signs J&J may not be able to hit vaccine delivery goal. HHS seeking use of 2 Texas military posts to house unaccompanied minors, Pentagon says. The next headlines are from the Sydney Morning Herald in Australia. The PM says he's listening, so it's time to tell your stories. NSW floods live updates. Clearer skies appear over Sydney and mid-north coast, but flood risk continues. Achingly beautiful true story defies belief. Premier holds on to JobKeeper after almost doubling its profits. Family of Northbridge sex assault survivor deliver powerful call to arms. With no incentive to do better, bad behavior keeps festering in the dark corridors of power. Perth's hipster heaven ups the ante with Indigenous-only bookshop. Hospitality powerhouse plans to breathe new life into heritage buildings in the heart of Freya. Sun gives premier bounce in her step, but flood risk and recovery effort looms. Eradicating COVID-19 is not realistic, say Britain's top health advisors. The next headlines are from MarketWatch. Earnings results, GameStop stock swings lower after earnings. MarketWatch, Intel stock rallies as CEO Gelsinger announces aggressive manufacturing build-out. The Tell, the new S&P 500 bull market is about to enter its second year. Now what? Disney again reshuffles its movie releases, Black Widow to stream for extra fee. Personal Finance Daily, over 90% of CEOs want to know the employee answer to this question, and a person with a COVID vaccine will get a Krispy Kreme donut every day this year. Bond report, Treasury yields sent lower market after Powell testimony, debt auctions. Market snapshot, Nasdaq ends 1.2% higher, Dow and S&P 500 snap 2-day skid as Treasury yields retreat. This NFL player earns more money per Instagram post than anybody in football, and it's not Tom Brady. Newswatch, the new S&P 500 bull market is about to enter its second year. Now what? Capital Report, hundreds of billions of dollars at stake if PPP lapses, warns Senator. Next, the top stories about patents and inventions. Whole Booth taps former Axiomati for patent team, Law 360. Spatial launches immersive audio experiences as a service, MarTech series. Olympus subsidiaries say colonoscopy tool patents were infringed, Bloomberg Law. Are debt whiners fools or just liars? Common Dreams. Marshall federal jury orders Apple to pay $308 million in patent infringement case, Marshall News Messenger. If you want a patent, it helps to be human. https://www.innovationnews.com/. Will there be reform of Alice and Mayo in 2021? J.D. Supra. Intellectual Property, Overview on Key Issues for Tax-Exempt Organizations, J.D. Supra. Directors Forum, a blog from USPTO's leadership, United States Patent and Trademark Office. Why we need to stop relying on patents to measure innovation, Walter Bradley Center for Natural and Artificial Intelligence. The next headlines are from Quartz. For-profit nursing homes are understaffed by design. T was the day after sanctions. America's businesses have discovered vaccine marketing. The screening power of Visa. Biden's infrastructure bill will make or break his climate legacy. Gamers turn Discord into a $10 billion juggernaut. The sun will power large parts of Africa's COVID-19 vaccination program. Who are the 10 European citizens China is sanctioning? Robot garbage hunters are coming to clean up space. Sanctions on China, GameStop earnings, mailbox swans. The following headlines are from TechDirt. TechDirt Podcast Episode 275, The State of Trust and Safety. North Carolina legislators push bill that would prevent cops, prosecutors from charging 6-year-olds for picking flowers. Senator Mark Warner doesn't seem to understand even the very basic fundamentals of Section 230 as he seeks to destroy it. Daily Deal, Mini White Book Scan, 2-pack. What I hope tech CEOs will tell Congress, we're not neutral. Yet more studies show that 5G isn't hurting you. Cheryl Atkinson lawsuit against Rod Rosenstein claiming she was hacked by government host. It's the end of citation as we know it and I feel fine. Drone manufacturers are amping up surveillance capabilities in response to demand from government agencies. Cops' lies about a traffic stop are exposed by a home security camera located across the street. We are now about 1/3 of the way through this daily news headlines podcast, a free service. Here, next, are the top trending keywords in Google web searches for today, a different window on world events. Magic, Legends. Kristi Noem. Eric Andre. Christine Engelhardt. Beta Up. Breaking news. Kyrie Irving. Jessica Simpson. Phoebe Dinier. National Puppy Day 2021. The next headlines are from RT, the first Russian news station in English. No clear winner in Israeli election, but Netanyahu has upper hand in building a coalition. Pentagon asked to house migrant children on military bases. When Trump mulled the idea, it was decried as concentration camps. A huge downer, Dutch PM Mark Rutte extends lockdown for 3 weeks amid worrying COVID-19 spike. Obama calls on Biden, says people with power should finish his job and ban assault weapons. Islam Makhachev targets Rafael dos Anjos or Justin Gaethje's surging UFC contender aims to step from Khabib's shadow, video. Russian President Vladimir Putin receives domestically produced COVID-19 vaccine as nationwide immunization campaign continues. Scientists produce new map of life which they claim shows where species unknown to science may be found. Juventus prepared to listen to €25 million bids for Cristiano Ronaldo. Safety first, Japan asks UN nuclear watchdog to review its plans to release Fukushima radioactive water into ocean. Scottish First Minister Nicola Sturgeon survives no confidence vote after misleading Parliament over Alex Salmond complaints. The next headlines are from Zero Hedge. Robinhood files confidentially for IPO. Cigna responds to claims that it excludes white men in the hiring process. USPS unveils 10-year sustainability plan, higher prices, worse service. Iran threatened USS Cole-style attacks on DC base, US intel officials. Citigroup CEO introduces Zoom-free Fridays and City Reset Day, encourages vacations. Firefighters battle 3-alarm fire on top of Manhattan building. A year of fear, that reality will ever reappear in markets. GameStop's tumbling ahead of highly anticipated earnings call. WTI holds big losses after surprise crude build. 7 plagues that are hitting our planet right now. The following headlines are from Al Jazeera, Middle East News. Law expanding access to medical aid and dying divides Canadians. Brazil, new health minister sworn in amid dangerous virus surge. Mexico's president says development will help address migration. Sudan's cabinet backs UAE mediation in disputes with Ethiopia. Niger observes 3 days of national mourning after carnage. Fed to create committee to respond to climate change risks. Prince Harry joins San Francisco-based mental health startup. Upbeat on U.S. economy, Yellen and Powell say more must be done. Chauvin trial, jury set, arguments to begin on March 29. EU refuses to approve Frontex's budget over human rights concerns. The next headlines are from Breitbart. Poll, key Democrat voting demographics oppose canceling voter ID laws. Russian foreign minister wears mask reading FCKNGQRNTN. Russia, China want UN Security Council meeting to contain America. AOC remains silent on Joe Biden's border conditions for migrants. Some conservatives reject Governor Kristi Noem's reasons for scrapping women's sports bill, beyond misleading. Trend actor Eddie Izzard calls out people making a big deal out of pronouns. Everyone should calm down on this. Disney World testing facial recognition technology for park visitors. Kamala Harris niece, violent white men are greatest terrorist threat to America. Twitter lets verified leftists spread misinformation about white man committing CO shooting. Jen Psaki, Joe Biden considering executive actions on gun control. The next headlines are from UPI News. Tree frog named as 2021 Cadbury Bunny. Police in Kansas pull over driver going 149 miles per hour. Foul ball smashes beer, showering fans at Diablo Stadium. Jack Dorsey sells first ever tweet for more than $2.9 million. Walrus spotted on coast of Wales, an unusual sighting. Michigan woman to retire after hitting $4 million lottery jackpot. Surveillance video shows 4 cougars outside Utah home. Texas emergency crews rescue 2 horses trapped in rollover crash. Florida fire crew rescues visually impaired dog from drainage pipe. The next headlines are from Odd, Strange and Bizarre Things. Easy and tasty pasta for the month of March. These are all the ways to use baking soda, part 2. 7 little known ways to remodel your home. What are the health benefits of cannabis sativa? How to build up TikTok followers quickly. 7 best tips to promote your album on Spotify. The following headlines are from goodnewsnetwork.org. Air-free bike tires made from NASA rover tech soon to be available for any cyclist. Watch a life-saving moment. A man topples backwards off a balcony, but a bystander catches his foot. Chimps from 2 Czech zoos are zooming each other every day. Just 1 day after completing CPR training, a teen saves her friend's life using procedure she'd just learned. How to turn plastic waste in your recycle bin into profit. This teen makes tiny bow ties for shelter dogs to help them look spiffy and get adopted. Trying to stop the epidemic of veteran suicides, plant medicine company builds mental wellness value chain. 11-year-old boy stumbles upon 2,500-year-old fertility amulet in Israel. Growing mushrooms at home is everyone's new pandemic hobby. You're tuned to No Views, daily automated podcast news. This is a report for Tuesday, March 23rd. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Reddit Offbeat News. National Guardsmen transporting COVID-19 vaccines held at gunpoint. Krispy Kreme will give you a free donut every day this year, if you've been vaccinated. Till in 1915, a woman arrived late at her sister's funeral and demanded that her sister's coffin be raised so that she could say goodbye. When the coffin opened, her sister, Essie Dunbar, sat up and smiled and went on to live for another 47 years. Penises are shrinking because of pollution. Pretty bird, pretty bird. Australian government staff filmed sexual encounters in Parliament and brought in sex workers for MPs. Goldman Sachs boss says go extra mile despite 95-hour week. Man named Salmon Dream unable to change name after sushi promo. How I heat my home by mining cryptocurrencies. A Chinese city has banned stripping newlyweds as a wedding game. The next headlines are from a site called The Next Web. How deepfakes could help implant false memories in our minds. DARPA to test AI-controlled jets in live fly dogfights after successful simulations. The OnePlus 9 Pro takes S-tier photos, and I may just drop the Pixel for it. Ritasonic uses AI to create engaging copy for all your content marketing and sales. A totally necessary analysis of Microsoft's Xbox Live rebranding. Everything announced at today's OnePlus event. It doesn't look like a guitar, but the pocket guitar will still absolutely stun you with its sound. Green claims and a carbon-heavy reality. How to use AI to better serve your customers. These GPT-3 pickup lines are better than the sleaze and cheese you sling on Tinder. The following headlines are from Science Daily. More than words, using AI to map how the brain understands sentences. Domestication and industrialization lead to similar changes in gut microbiota. Engineering of Mississippi River has kept carbon out of atmosphere, study says. New test traces DNA origins to monitor transplant rejection and reveal hidden cancers. Rare fossilized algae, discovered unexpectedly, fill in evolutionary gaps. Corals may need their predators' excrement. The lambs break their silence. How human cells coordinate the start of DNA replication. Rare genetic variant puts some younger men at risk of severe COVID-19. The same sea level for everyone. The next headlines are from Information Week. Texas County turns to low-code database for vaccine registrations. What IT leaders need to know about open-source software. How scholarships can support diversity and inclusion in tech. 5 AI4 industry myths debunked. This is a reading of news headlines. This broadcast was created on Tuesday, March 23rd from over 100 sources, to give you a bigger picture of the news. The next headlines are from NASA News. NASA Ingenuity Mars helicopter prepares for first flight. The next headlines are from the Salt Lake Tribune. Buy, sell, or stand pat, which option makes the most sense for the Utah Jazz at the NBA trade deadline? Quoting Brigham Young, James Huntsman sues LDS Church, seeks to recover millions in tithing. Richard Davis, the debate over equality and religious freedom. By defensive lineman Antinasa Mahay sat out the 2020 season with a blood clot in his brain. Now he's back in the fold. Carousel Ice Cream Parlor, movies 8 are gone as Provo raises old favorites for new development. Utah reports 15 more COVID-19 deaths. Utah Health, Human Services agencies to merge next year. Commentary, finalize your business playbook for COVID-19. Michelle Goldberg, the Johnson & Johnson shot was my ticket out of hell. Utah Symphony's 2021 to 2022 season, starting in September, to feature nature-inspired music and violinist Hilary Hahn. The next headlines are from Slashdot, Tech News for Nerds. Uniswap unveils version 3 and bid to stay DeFi's top dog. Intel to spend $20 billion to build 2 new chip fabs in Arizona. In 2020, 2/3 of Google searches ended without a click. Facebook guidelines allow users to call for death of public figures. Samsung is reportedly working on a double folding phone. Google and Microsoft team up to fix compatibility issues between browsers. Microsoft rebrands Xbox Live to Xbox Network. Nintendo to use new NVIDIA graphics chip in 2021 Switch upgrade. India battles a second COVID-19 wave and vaccine skepticism. Major employers scrap plans to cut back on offices. The next headlines are from Fox St. Louis. Evictions to resume this week in St. Louis County. DoorDash will begin delivering COVID test kits to your home. 2 killed and 1 injured in East St. Louis shooting. Report of shots fired on I-64 in Lake St. Louis ends with crash. Jefferson County woman holds new state record for yellow perch catch. Missouri task force to help support small businesses impacted by COVID. Biden urges Congress to tighten gun control after Colorado mass shooting. Overdue utility bills thanks to the pandemic, you're not alone. Officer killed in Boulder shooting, what we know about the father of 7 shot in the line of duty. Nearly $1 million awarded by Governor Pritzker to address Cahokia Heights flooding. These are the current headlines from the world's most interesting news websites. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Fox San Diego. Mexican consulate in San Diego to offer COVID-19 vaccinations. 71-year-old accused in DUI crash that killed 3 pleads not guilty. Biden administration under fire for migrant surge at border. Remarkable women, veteran Jody Grenier continues to serve others. San Diego Marine accounted for in USS Oklahoma Project's 300th ID. Marine commander fired after deadly assault vehicle accident. Coronado hotels start to bounce back in red air. What we know about the 10 victims killed in Colorado supermarket shooting. Small risk still exists to catch COVID-19 after vaccines, UCLA fined. 2 arrested in fatal shooting of teen at South Bay Park. The next headlines are from spooknews.com. How to spy on your child's Android phone activities. A police camera that never tires stirs unease at First Circuit. If you invested $1,000 in the SPY ETF 1 year ago, here's how much you'd have now. Israeli spy narrates arrest conditions in U.S. Model claims she was offered $70,000 to make secret Novak Djokovic sex tape. Russia tycoon sues publisher and Reuters reporter over Putin book. Presence Global launches Android app to provide peace of mind online. Review, The Courier delivers Cold War intrigue Brainerd Dispatch. Students ask professors to reconsider anti-cheat software. Students build clock with hidden CCTV camera, win Smart India Hackathon. The following headlines are from Defense Blog. 3 crew members dead in incident with Russian Tu-22 backfire bomber. Ukraine notes strong Brazilian interest in anti-tank missiles. Sikorsky contracted for engineering and technical support services of Army Black Hawk aircraft. Raytheon nabs $63 million for FA-18 radar systems repair. Standard Aero contracted for T-56 repairs in support of P-3, C-130 and C-2A aircraft. The next headlines are from SUP China, top news about China. Image-obsessed Chinese actress apologizes for comparing her body shape to a cartoon character's. EU issues first sanctions on China since 1989 over treatment of wires. Intel China removes ad featuring female stand-up comedian after complaints from unhappy male internet users. Inter Milan up for sale as Sunning looks to escape soccer's financial black hole. Ancient beauty Wang Xiaojin's shifting significance. This is the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today, in the GMT time zone, is Tuesday, March 23, 2021. Now, more headlines. The next headlines are from KRON4 San Francisco. Post office changes, what's in the USPS 10-year plan? Treasure Island opens its own COVID-19 vaccine site, drop-ins welcome. Why PG&E power shutoffs could become more frequent. Disturbing video, Asian woman robbed, dragged by car in San Francisco. UCSF doctor shares study on pandemic weight gain. What's opening in San Francisco in the orange tier? Rare gray wolf moves farther south into Central California. Boulder supermarket shooting suspect purchased gun less than a week ago. The next headlines are from the Daily Herald. Hate has no home here, Naperville event condemns anti-Asian racism after Atlanta shootings. Schaumburg aimed to make Gulf Road its own business-friendly zoning district. Antioch able to overcome Week 1 miscues. New Pats T.E. Jonnu Smith eyeing fresh start on the journey. Boys and Girls Club of Elgin awards Youth of the Year. Lawmaker looks to lift ban on inmate voting. Butterfield Road in Wheaton reopens after fatal crash. Elmhurst District 205 names interim leader, zeroes in on 3 superintendent finalists. COVID-19 update, 70,252 more shots, another 13 dead, 1,832 new cases. Illinois Coburn targeted in racist post after NCAA loss. The following headlines are from Seattle PI. Seattle City Council Committee stalls on further cuts to Seattle Police Department's 2021 budget. Print matters, Big Little News brings 250 magazines, newspapers to Seattle's Capitol Hill. Seattle opens applications for preschool program for 2021 to 2022 year, announces additional classrooms. Redmond launches new tourism campaign that will pay you to stay, visit. Fremont Sunday Market reopens in a pandemic world after winter hibernation. The next alerts are from the Global Disaster Alerting and Coordination System, a cooperative effort from disaster managers worldwide. Drought is ongoing in Afghanistan, Iran, Pakistan. Drought is ongoing in Bolivia, Brazil. Drought is ongoing in Malawi, Mozambique. Drought is ongoing in Madagascar. Drought is ongoing in Mexico. Drought is ongoing in Angola, Congo, DRC, Namibia. Drought is ongoing in Iraq, Syria, Turkey. Drought is ongoing in Afghanistan, Iran, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan. You are hearing the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today is Tuesday, March 23rd in the Greenwich Mean Time zone. Headlines here were found today in news feeds from around the world, but we do focus on the USA, one of the world's current 195 countries. Now, more news. The next headlines are from Cypher Brief Security News and High-Level Analysis. Executing Commander's Intent at Machine Speed for Cyber. The next headlines are from ABC Houston. Houston couple out $8K as catalytic converter theft spikes in area. Stop Asian Hate donuts sell out and spark conversation. Senator Tammy Duckworth threatens Biden nominees over lack of AAPI diversity in cabinet. Houston doctor confident in AstraZeneca vaccine, but says messaging has been horrible. 25-cent bargains at unique discount store creates buzz. Colorado grocery store shooting suspect ID'd as man, 21, victims between 20 and 65. Deshaun Watson's lawyer says one of the claims against Texans QB was consensual. What we know about the victims in Boulder King Soopers grocery store shooting. BLQK coffee, pour with a purpose. All Texas adults will be eligible for COVID-19 vaccine next week, state announces. The following headlines are from China Post, top news about China, Taiwan and the world. Top seed NC State beats South Florida with big third quarter. Hogan, vaccine cavalry is finally coming to a rescue. LaMelo Ball undergoes surgery to repair broken wrist. California virus cases keep falling, more businesses reopen. U.S., Iraq to hold talks over American troop presence. France to reopen Libyan embassy, support interim government. Colorado shooting victims included store workers, officer. Duckworth threatens Biden nominees over lack of diversity. The latest, vaccinated don't need masks at work in Anchorage. Oakland launches guaranteed pay plan for low-income people. The following headlines are from The Gothamist. NY's second round of rent relief only distributes $7 million of $60 million available. Extra, the pandemic has not been great for our backs, Bob. NJ Army reservist and locally known anti-Semite with Hitler mustache must remain jailed for role in Capitol riot. 3 dolphins spotted frolicking in East River near Greenpoint. NY Assembly Committee launches a Cuomo impeachment inquiry that could take months. Subway trains are going faster as MTA upgrades century-old signals. Former NYPD spokesperson charged in Capitol insurrection. Coronavirus statistics, tracking the epidemic in New York. Your taxes pay for NY state health data. Why does Cuomo make it so hard to access? De Blasio announces 80,000 city employees will return to offices in May. We hope you are enjoying this podcast. If you have a suggestion for a new RSS feed we should add, please leave it in a comment on our YouTube page. The next headlines are from globalissues.org. End vaccine apartheid before millions more die. Water governance and data collection is key to reach development goals. Human rights groups demand an end to Myanmar military's crackdown on journalists. The UN Food Systems Summit, how not to respond to the urgency of reform. Brexit shows why traders need reliable information, but many are ahead of the game. The next headlines are from blacklistednews.com. 10 killed in Colorado grocery store shooting. Epic seeks documents on protest monitoring and advanced surveillance technologies from federally funded fusion centers. That time a leaked memo proved the U.S. weaponizes human rights against nations like China. Saudi Arabia bombs grain port in Yemen. Illegal immigrants to receive $4.38 billion in Biden bucks. The Great Reset is here, follow the money. Tragedy, COVID suicides among children exceed COVID deaths. Warmonger Joe Biden seems quite eager to start a war with Russia. Los Angeles Unified School District and Microsoft implement Daily Pass app for students. Police identify alleged shooter in Colorado grocery store mass shooting as Ahmad Al-Alawi Alyssa. The following headlines are from Snopes, a fact-checking service. Biden expands Obamacare by cutting health insurance costs. Part of Wright brothers' first airplane on NASA's Mars chopper. Rumor alert, Colorado shooting suspect hit ICE's sympathies. Is FEMA covering funeral expenses for people who died from COVID-19? Did U.S. have no mass shootings under Trump? Jury set for ex-cop's trial in Floyd death. Democrats vow vote on gun bills, Biden says we have to act. Did Freud say before diagnosing yourself with depression, make sure you are not just surrounded by buttholes? Do homeless people have access to COVID-19 stimulus payments? The next headlines are from factcheck.org. Posts misrepresent Columbia's multicultural graduation ceremonies. We are now about 2/3 of the way through today's news headlines. When everything is working, this feed will auto-update 3 times per day. Join us daily to stay informed. The next headlines are from the Daily Beast. Israel's election day exit polls show Bibi in slight lead. Below-deck sailing yachts Captain Glenn on the COVID scare that nearly sabotaged the season. Tucker Carlson's biggest advertiser unloads on Fox News. Always had a smile, these are the victims of the Boulder massacre. Prince Harry lands a new job with hotshot Silicon Valley startup BetterUp. Very antisocial, suspect in Boulder supermarket massacre was paranoid, brother says. Georgia GOP goes all out to suppress black votes amid MAGA civil war. This is the best way to find specialty groceries. Getting a presidential pet is a great distraction from scandal. Once upon a time, the GOP actually backed more people voting. The next headlines are from the New York Post. Letters to the editor, March 24, 2021. The attaché revisits 2015 Paris terrorist attacks. Major Biden spotted back at the White House after biting incident. Wild West, check out Kenai's 4,524-acre Wyoming ranch amidst divorce. Here's how to not let the pandemic sour your Passover. The following headlines are from astronomy.com. Physicists cautiously optimistic about CERN evidence for new fundamental particle. How do supermassive black holes grow so large? Snapshot strands of the cosmic web revealed. You're tuned to the No Views, daily automated podcast news. If you are hearing this, you found something super unknown. Congratulations. Now back to the headlines. The next science headlines are from CBS News. NASA readies helicopter for historic flight on Mars. Entrepreneur hopes to make Appalachia a hub for indoor farming. AstraZeneca may have included outdated information in COVID-19 vaccine trial report. Dr. David August on what you can and cannot do after full COVID-19 vaccination. How one indoor farm is changing how food is grown. Miami Beach imposes emergency curfew as partiers overwhelm city. State of emergency declared in Miami Beach amid spring break partying. U.S. study finds AstraZeneca COVID vaccine 79% effective. CDC warns U.S. could experience a variant-fueled COVID surge as states lift restrictions. AstraZeneca says U.S. trial shows COVID vaccine 79% effective. The next headlines are from the New York Daily News. It's official, Andrew Yang drops off petition signatures to get on NYC mayoral ballot. Remote work for 80,000 New York City office workers to end in May. CIT, millions of spiders scuttle to safety amid epic flooding in New South Wales, Australia. Legalizing adult-use marijuana in NY is really, really close, Senator Stuart Cousins. NY's Assembly Speaker Carl Heastie tests positive for COVID. Boulder shooting suspect identified as Ahmed Alissa, 21-year-old who bought AR-15 just last week. She was as kind as they come, heartbroken loved ones speak on the 10 victims who died in Boulder mass shooting. Massachusetts high school football team used anti-Semitic play calls, Anti-Defamation League demands investigation. Video of vicious attack on gay couple in Rome prompts calls for hate crime laws. Spring breaker drugged, raped and left for dead identified as 24-year-old Philadelphia woman. The following headlines are from military.com. The Navy doesn't need another carrier right now, Admiral nominated to lead Pacific Ops says. The VA just got $17 billion in COVID relief money. Here's how they plan to spend it. Army leaders to be briefed on findings from household goods shipment study. Iraq requests new round of talks with U.S. over troop presence. Here's what it costs to keep U.S. troops in Japan and South Korea. Police respond to reports of possible gunmen at California veterans' home. U.S. drone strike case appealed to Germany's highest court. Guard troops ambushed in Texas, held at gunpoint while transporting COVID-19 vaccines. Colorado shooting leaves 10 dead in latest mass tragedy. Coast Guard monitoring lobsterman protest in Maine. The next headlines are from the Chicago Tribune. Company in charge of vaccinating CPS employees misallocated 6,000 vaccines, Chicago Health Department says. This is completely unacceptable behavior. The Spin, Mayor Lightfoot says we'll close back down if uptick in COVID-19 cases leads to surge. Pritzker signs law to study reparations as Evanston OK's first step in municipal program. Rep Ford quits Loretto Hospital board over vaccine rollout. New Lennox White Power salute nets hate crime charge, police say. Woman found dead after Princeton Park standoff, officials say. Corrections and clarifications. Here are some of the key measures in the Illinois Legislative Black Caucus Economics Package signed by Governor Pritzker. Governor J.B. Pritzker signs Illinois Legislative Black Caucus Economic Reform Package. Wisconsin Republicans vote to take control of COVID-19 relief money from Democratic Governor Tony Evers. Column, she worked for months to bring a community fridge to Evanston and it was destroyed in a car crash. Then the community stepped up. Prosecutors and judge agree that after 20 years in prison, troubled mother deserves mercy and a new shot at life. The following headlines are from FIS.org. Union-friendly states enjoy higher economic growth, individual earnings. With drop in LA's vehicular aerosol pollution, vegetation emerges as major source. Researchers develop technology allowing researchers to image wetland soil activity in real time. Changes in Antarctic marine ecosystems. Domestication and industrialization lead to similar changes in gut microbiota. Engineering of the Mississippi River has kept carbon out of the atmosphere, says new study. Another new chameleon from the Bale region of Ethiopia. Social context affects gendered views of STEM subjects in England and Japan. Thank you for listening and for staying informed. This audio was produced today, Tuesday, March 23rd, in the GMT time zone. The next headlines are from Discover magazine. Homo erectus, what do we know about our early ancestors? Programming language converts laws into provably correct computer code. Archaeologists have found prehistoric rock structures under the Great Lakes. Here's what the stones can tell us. How the Triassic extinction helped dinosaurs take over the planet. Best nootropics, top 6 most effective nootropic supplements of 2021. Top 5 natural testosterone boosters, best supplements for increasing testosterone levels. Pollen can raise your risk of COVID-19, and the season is getting longer thanks to climate change. Life elsewhere in the universe, when did we first consider the possibility? Should you walk or run for exercise? New eruption finally starts on the Reykjanes Peninsula in Iceland. The next headlines are from the Seattle Times. Safety Kareem Jackson returns to Broncos on one-year deal. Parler Network founder claims GOP donor, others defamed him. White House, North Korea conducted short-range missile test. Stock trading app company Robinhood files plan to go public. Spa witness, police reports detail carnage in Georgia. Dest, sergeant part of U.S. team prepping for dizzying stretch. Newly confirmed Surgeon General to focus on COVID, opioids. Belmont program founder virtually cheering Bruins run. Bears sign offensive lineman Wilkinson to one-year contract. Bucs Super Bowl film showcases Brady and Tampa Bay D. The following headlines are from MercuryNews.com. Newly renovated Scott's Seafood reopens at Jack London Square after long COVID shutdown. SF Giants Logan Webb looks deserving of rotation spot, continues electric spring. Senator Duckworth threatens to hold up Biden nominees. Volcanic ash shutters International Airport in Guatemala. A's analysis, which positions, and which players, could be used in a platoon this year? Woman shot in West Oakland. Facebook accused of taking money for ads to fake people after disabling 1.3 billion fake accounts. COVID, when will kids be vaccinated? Photos, Contra Costa County's Hope and Healing remembers local COVID-19 victims. Warriors working with San Francisco on plan to bring fans to Chase Center, mayor says. The next headlines are from the Washington Times. Bill to eliminate training wage heads to House floor. Mississippi AG, state to share in surgical mesh settlement. Chuck Grassley pushes for criminal charges against fake Brett Kavanaugh accusers. Inside the Beltway, Fox News still top choice of Republicans. $150K settlement for Hawaii teen arrested by classmate's dad. Former Federal Circuit Court Judge Kermit By dies at 84. NC 6-12 graders okayed to return with less desk separation. The next headlines are from The Intercept. Some younger Amazon workers in Bessemer, new to unions, are still undecided. Yes, blame Christian fundamentalism for the Atlanta murders. Minnesota police ready for pipeline resistance as Enbridge seeks to drill under rivers. Ohio Democrat mulling Senate run defended anti-abortion laws as state health director. With Butch-Lewis Act, workers won major victory for right to secure retirement. This is No Views, daily automated podcast news. You are hearing headlines for Tuesday, March 23, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from Eureka Alert. Artificial neurons help decode cortical signals. Plant-wise plant clinics help promote sustainable crop pest management in Rwanda and Zambia. New diagnostic tool for the management of patients with sepsis. CHOP researchers find supplement prevents strokes in patients with rare genetic disorder. New result from the LHCb experiment challenges leading theory in physics. Association found between consumption of ultra-processed foods and drinks and colorectal cancer risk. Neutrons reveal unpredicted binding between SARS-CoV-2, hepatitis C and T viral drug. BMI1, a promising gene to protect against Alzheimer's disease. Study, precautions used to prevent COVID-19 decreased common respiratory illness rates. The next headlines are from the Chicago Sun-Times. Bobby Brown Jr.'s parents call for charges in his drug death. Woman fatally struck by vehicle in Leiden Township. COVID-19 cases ticking back up across Chicago, Hive updates. Zoning committee approves $30 million sports arena. Carlos Rodon, motivated by non-tender, wins job as White Sox fifth starter. Motorcyclist, 19, dies in Wheaton crash on Butterfield Road. Bears sign OT Elijah Wilkinson, LB Christian Jones. Man charged in 2019 July 4th shooting that left one dead and injured 3 others. Woman found shot dead after Southside SWAT standoff, man arrested. Loyola's Porter Moser, how long will he stay, anyway, is entering Brad Stevens territory. The feed from the Riverfront Times St. Louis has been removed for putting advertisements in its news RSS feed. Kara Newmark expanding Sweetology to national audience post-pandemic. The Big Mad, Distracted Cops, Root Asteroids and the Corn-Cobbing of Andrew Koenig. Hartman, Greeton's announcement sets up clash of the Erics. Eric Greitens is running for Roy Blunt's U.S. Senate seat. 1 week in, trial of St. Louis cops accused of beating Luther Hall. The next headlines are from Detroit Metro. Detroit rapper Tone to open Tony Island restaurant on the city's east side. Downtown Detroit will soon have free electric carts and they are kind of cute. Rashida Tlaib is still fighting for recurring COVID-19 relief payments, and she has an interesting idea for how to fund it. Detroit's former Briggs Sports Bar sued for pirating pay-per-view UFC fight. Herbacil reviews, ingredients, benefits and side effects. Nestle charges Wolverine Watchman member on felony weapons counts. Krispy Kreme will give you a donut a day if you flash your COVID-19 vaccination card. Tom Wall's journey into the secret life of marijuana plants. Michigan SOS urges state lawmakers to pass bills to make voting easier, not harder. Lizzo is looking for big GRRRLs to add to her squad. Here's how to apply for her new Amazon reality series. You are hearing today's news headlines. These headlines are for Tuesday, March 23, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Houston Press. All adults in Texas can get COVID-19 vaccine shots starting Monday. Watson sued by 14th woman for sexual assault during private massages, updated. Opera in the Heights brings Lucia and Figaro to White Oak Music Hall. Where to dine out for Easter Sunday brunch 2021 in Houston. Music and a message, Dend releases film In Case You Forgot I'm Black. 4 thoughts on Nick Caserio's latest Texans roster makeover phase. Tony Busby sending Watson lawsuit details to local authorities. Rockets reach dubious milestone with 20th straight loss. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, a buddy series with a conscience. This week in Houston food events, rodeo fair and a taste of spring. The next headlines are about world records making news. Largest champagne sparkling wine fight, the Cotnery Winery sets world record Academy. A new world record for Banksy and a Pretty Little Picasso-powered Christie's seemingly endless $275 million contemporary art auction, ArtNet News. New world record antlered doe, or is it, North American Whitetail Magazine. Record-breaking Lamborghini Urus clocks 185 miles per hour along frozen ice on world's deepest lake, hot cars. Pakistani girls beat India, Sweden at 3 Guinness World Records, The News International. Most awarded winery, world record set by the Cotnery Winery, World Record Academy. Narwhal sets world record to win gold at World Shooting Para Sport World Cup, inside at the games.peace. Lasha Talakhet snatches 223 kilograms, the heaviest snatch ever filmed, barbend. Dana White reveals mind-blowing stats behind Francis Ngannou's power, sport bubble. Anchor handling world record for island offshore's vessel, offshore engineer. The next headlines are from Gizmodo. Scientists just found a new kind of rock under the Pacific Ocean. Apple's mixed reality headset might be light AF. The Australian floods are devastating wildlife. Steam will let you stream games in 8K, but most graphics cards cannot even do 4K. Facebook missed 10.1 billion opportunities to stop juicing hoaxes and propaganda in 2020, study finds. Some of our brain cells get more active hours after we die, study finds. The 10 best deals of March 23, 2021. Oil giant Shell hacked thanks to Floridan Lion system. NASA reveals its plan for first helicopter flight on Mars. Let's all be more like a global investment bank. What place in the world had the hottest and coolest temperatures today? According to ElDoradoWeather.com, the hottest place on Earth in the past 24 hours was Luxor in Egypt at 110.48 degrees Fahrenheit or 43.6 degrees Celsius. The coldest recorded weather temperature on Earth in the past 24 hours was Concordia in Antarctica at minus 77.62 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 60.9 degrees Celsius. The following headlines are from Ars Technica. Ransomware operators are piling on already hacked exchange servers. NASA lays out plans for its first flights on Mars. Authorities raise red flags about AstraZeneca's vaccine press release, updated. Today's best tech deals, Logitech mice and keyboards, gaming headsets, and more. Valve releases Steam Link app on Apple's Mac App Store. Black Widow to Disney Plus, we finally know when, how much. FCC wants to hear from Americans who've been ignored by broadband industry. U.S. pedestrian deaths rose sharply in the first half of 2020. OnePlus snubs Google's Wear OS, announces $159 smartwatch. Report, Microsoft in talks for $10 billion acquisition of Discord. The following headlines are from Raw Story. Ron DeSantis says contact tracing doesn't work, but he barely used it. NASA will attempt first off-world flight in early April. Pro-Trump lawyer Lin Wood to sue Georgia State Bar for demanding he undergo mental health evaluation, report. Mitch McConnell destroyed after insisting filibuster has no racial history at all. Bill Barr is the reason some Capitol attackers could be charged with sedition, Mueller prosecutor. Colorado supermarket shooter asked to speak to his mother after being detained, report. Elections in Israel, Netanyahu's Likud party in the lead but without clear majority. If Ron DeSantis doesn't have anything to hide, why won't he turn over the data? Florida reporter. Government agency tasked with workplace safety essentially ignored COVID-related complaints, report. Biden eyes tax hikes for rich, ending fossil fuel subsidies to fund infrastructure. The next headlines are from Mother Jones. Senate Republicans argue Black Lives Matter and defund the police are to blame for gun violence. Biden calls on Senate to immediately pass gun reform laws in wake of mass shootings. Report, Facebook still struggles to contain misinformation. How our tax code is rigged against Black Americans. 10 people killed in Colorado supermarket mass shooting. Activists decry a different voter surge in Texas, cops and troops. The 3 worst arguments that Republicans made against D.C. statehood. Trump's new favorite Georgia Republican is crazier than he is. What people are spending their stimulus checks on. The ageless and arresting climate activism of Jane Fonda. The next items are today's top search results for extraterrestrial life. Fact check, false claim that Buzz Aldrin saw an alien on his trip to the moon, USA Today. Essential California, will a Democrat join the recall field, Los Angeles Times. Thanks to Trump-era COVID relief bill, a UFO report may soon be public, and it'll be big, ex-official says, The Washington Post. Oumuamua, it came from another solar system, The New York Times. My Life with Conan the Barbarian, Texas Monthly, Texas Monthly. UFOs hovering in the minds of the British public, survey reveals, ENT magazine. The following items are today's top search results for the term neuroplasticity. School-based mindfulness training is linked to neuroplasticity and improved cognitive control among 6th graders, SciPost. We are nearing the end of this broadcast. This report is for Tuesday, March 23, 2021 in the GMT time zone. What cities are in that time zone? Well, Reykjavik, Iceland, for one. You might wonder if our server is in Reykjavik. It could be. The following is from the UFO Chronicles. More UFOs detected than public knows, admits former intelligence chief. That's it for now. Thanks for enjoying today's newsfeed headlines. This, indeed, has been a No Views, daily automated podcast newscast for Tuesday, March 23, 2021. Bookmark us and tune in each day to our free automated podcast to find out what's going on, around, and, sometimes, light years, beyond the Earth. Fair use statement. True Strange News is a US-based educational not-for-profit news site. We use only parts of content, in transformative ways and without market usurpation. This means you are still going to want to read the original if you are interested in it beyond the headline and any comments we make. We provide links to original sources wherever possible. If you have any copyright concern, please contact us via our About page for immediate remedy. Contact us, Zeno at XENOMAILS 2021 by True Strange News. All rights reserved.